right, so how's that? How's this audio? How's the video? Whoa, we're so close. I think it's recording. I hit record, so I'm guessing this is recording. Okay, well, let's see if it is. So I was just doing a mic test and a stream test. I'm going to take my headset off because it's distracting me. Okay, so here we go. So now I'm doing a test here on my Twitch stream, trying to get the settings for the camera working and the audio functional. And one of the people helped me out with testing the stream, just asking a quick question about airbrushing, because I was showing off as just a test model my Storm Raven here, which was one of my practice models I was using to learn how to airbrush red. And you can see the color modulation here. This is color modulation. You go dark to light with the airbrush, then on the next surface you go dark again to light again. Anyway, so that's a different video. So he was asking me what do I recommend for an airbrush, because he wants to get into airbrushing himself. And I'm like, well, let me show you what I have. And right now I have 4 airbrushes. As far as compressors go, let me show you. I have 2 compressors that I use. This is a fairly nice one. You can get this set at a reasonable rate, and I do recommend it. This Grex, I don't want to zoom back out. I have to get back into my settings. This is a Grex model number AC1810-A, piston compressor Grex. So the Evolution of Perfection. I don't know what else it's called, but this airbrush compressor came with this airbrush, which is very different from the other airbrushes because it has a pistol trigger, which is difficult to get used to. This pistol trigger, pulling that trigger, you really have to, it's a very different setup from the top down button press, and it's difficult. It was hard for me to get used to it, and I just actually tried using this airbrush because this is my fine detail airbrush, and I kept botching it because I was so not used to it. Although I do admit that I hadn't airbrushed anything in a long time. So anyway, I have to get back into use once you've mastered this trigger function, and this is a really wonderful airbrush because it's so easy to take apart. You can take apart the top reservoir and take it off. It comes with a bigger reservoir if you want a bigger one. You can the front part, because the thing with the airbrush that I've discovered is that cleanability is key. You need to be able to clean these things because they get so gumped up. Hey, someone else just popped into the chat. So so what I've discovered in my experience with airbrushing is being able to clean these quickly. And with this one, being able, and our brother Captain James just kind of pointed it out, yeah, with his experience, being able to remove the reservoir gives this really high numbers. I'm sure people will agree. This thing, I don't know what it's called, that we'll call it the funnel. I don't know what this thing is called, but it's magnetized, so it pops out quick and easy. This thing kind of protects the tip of your of the needle. It comes apart so easy. You can unscrew this thing. There's a star wrench that you can use to take the nozzle off, which allows the needle to come out. Then you can really get right in there with your airbrush cleaner. So as in terms of cleanability, that I just coined that phrase. This thing is really wonderful, and once you can master the function of the trigger mechanism, it's a great airbrush, and this Grex airbrush has gotten a lot of high marks from a lot of painters. In addition to that, when you buy it, it comes with multiple sets, multiple additions. So this is a super fine needle. You can put in a less fine needle as well. This thing right here is the TG. What is this? TG220. I don't know if that's the serial number or what, but Grex TG2205117. I don't know what it's called. Sorry, I'm not much more use, but it's this guy. It comes in a kit with the compressor and the box. You know, you can see it. It's got a nice visible front display inside the box, so you'll know it when you see it. But this is the one. Read the back. It'll have, I forget the numbers. God, it's been so long. But anyway, there's my Grex. Now, I also have 3 others that are in use. This one is super common and very affordable. It's the Badger 105 Patriot. And you can get this off Amazon. I forget. You can do a search right now. I'm sure you'll find it on Amazon. Badger makes great airbrushes, for sure. And this one is no exception. And it's an all-around, highly functional airbrush. Great for doing everything. You know, it's not, you know, I don't use it for fine detail work, but if I'm batch painting a lot and I just want to go fast and be quick and not worry about my fine detail brushes having to get cleaned up, I'll use this one because it's my cheapest and but it still works well. I don't have a whole lot more experience to lend you on this one, other than the fact that it's highly functional and the most affordable airbrush here. The most expensive one is also my favorite. This Badger Velocity airbrush. This thing is all kinds of awesome, and you know, it's just precision, and you can get super fine with this. And like all airbrushes, it all depends on your skill. It does come apart fairly easy, fairly well. You can take it apart quick, and you can get right up in there with the brushes. However, this one is expensive. The Badger Velocity. This, like the other Badger I have, the Patriot, it's got the top, all my brushes are top reservoir. I learned that. The first one I bought was the bottom one. It was awful. And it's got the top down trigger mechanism. The dual flow, I think it's called, where you can push down, that controls how much air, and when you pull back, you know, you can control the amount of air and the amount of paint. Some airbrushes apparently cannot do that. But yes, this is the best one I own, also the nicest and most expensive. And finally, I have this one. This is my Iwata Eclipse HP Cs. One of the better Iwata airbrushes. Iwata is a Japanese company. I have 2 compressors. I have an Iwata compressor, a high-end Iwata compressor. You know, all airbrushes have the same basic functionality when it comes to taking them apart. You have the funnel, and you got the little protector inside the nozzle. But these don't have a cup that comes off. These are all fixed. Being able to pull that cup off is nice, but that's what I got for you. So in terms of functionality, the Iwata Eclipse HP Cs and the Badger Velocity both are fantastic. And the Iwata Eclipse, it's not as take apartable. It takes more time to break it down and clean it, which lowers it, in my opinion, versus the Velocity, and definitely versus the Grex. How's all that, right? Is that useful information for you? So I know it was you know, the question was kind of short, and I gave you a very long answer, but that's my experience from these little airbrushes. All right, I'm gonna end that video. I'm gonna post that on YouTube. Congratulations, guys! You just helped me make a YouTube. Just Stewart Ads 157 and Brother Captain James. I'm not sure if anyone else is in the chat. But yeah, so I'm gonna end this recording and keep on making my test. All right, more to come.